Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. If you're new to the channel, you got to know that I like to dive deep within my reading. So I like to look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, shadows, see how they play it as karmic themes. This will allow you to see why your person's doing what they're doing. That's important when people wear masks. And we'll also see why we're attracting that person and how we're creating the negative imbalances within the situation and how we could possibly shape shift the energy. The most important, really, when we're looking at shadow readings, is to see why are you attracting into your life what you're attracting into your life. There's always a spiritual meaning. The universe always uses relationships to help us create awareness about the things that we need to heal. And to heal is not just the awareness, it's the integration process as well as the transmutation process. See, integration is just understanding how and what we need to do in order to heal. That we have to implement new behaviorisms, new habits, new ways of dealing with the situation in order to get it a different outcome, obviously, right? So it's the awareness, but the transmutation is what you do with that negative energy that has been built up over time when you've been dealing with a karmic. And we know this because sickness and disease is only 5% inherited, and it affects our DNA because we inherit our habits and conditions and our reflexes from the environments that we live in. So when you're dealing with someone that's negative or toxic, you again incorporate different habits and behaviorisms as coping mechanisms to deal that a lot of times, even when you get out of the situation, the connection, you still have them. So understand healing is a process, but we have to do something with the energy. Otherwise, the transmutation process doesn't happen. And when you actually are transmuting the negative energy, you're seeing yourself differently. You're actually embodying the new consciousness. We know that that energy accumulates over time too. Some people say, oh, that go through this situation and the situation's over. No, it's not, because you're an energy body and you again are holding on to negative energy if you don't learn and see what you need to do to integrate and transmute the energy. This is how cancers develop. Cancers develop that fact that you go through a situation and you're still holding on to that energy, and the energy is usually resentment, it's anger, it's feeling defective, unworthy, anything that's keeping you out of alignment with your true self, the higher self. And the higher self is the God part of self, which is part of the universe. It's part of collective consciousness, but it's also part of God, because God is the universe. And we actually have that energy inside of us. So when we die, we go back to that energy, which is some call it source. We go back to source. Well, again, when we have negative energy, it's that we'll still go back to source. However, we'll come back again in another lifetime, and we're born into the same types of families and date the same types of people to learn the same spiritual lessons that we didn't learn previously. All right, just wanted to put that out there. I don't know why I am. Maybe you're dealing with a past life karmic mate. Who knows? We'll see. All right, let's see what the energy is. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. If you forget the word, it will always be in the description box along with all other important information, along with if you want to, if you're someone that's interested in shadow healing coaching, my link to be put on the wait list is in there. You know, classes are closed right now, but we'll be opening up again soon. Or if you want to like connect to my Gemini, my Gemini channel link, it will be in there. My Scorpio link will be in there. For my other YouTube channels, my website link will be in there. If you're someone that's again in need of healing, go to my website, read the blogs on it. I have over 100 different blogs on it. And I also have my TV show link. So you can watch again different spiritual and holistic things that will not only heal, but balance your body, mind, and spirit. You know, when I say things, it's more like topics, right? Different healing topics. All right. My website is pureenergyhealer.com. And again, you can check it all out in the description box. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. That kind of just jumped out at me. It's powerless. But let's actually see if I pull one, what would it be? It would be guilt. Well, you're in separation from somebody that doesn't know how to fix what they did. It's like they feel powerless. And they feel powerless because you already have your perception of who you perceive that they are. So no matter what they do, you will always have that perception of them. And they feel guilty about it. And it's again, so it's something like they know that they have to fix, but they don't know how to fix it. And part of the reason why they don't know how to fix it is because they'd have to be vulnerable. They've never been vulnerable. They'd have to, again, be transparent. They've never really been transparent. So and that's going to be a problem because part of not being transparent is that they would leave elements out of their story. They would shade things to look a certain way, when meanwhile, what you're realizing is that no, you did what you wanted to do. You can shade it however you want, but you led me on. You toyed around with my emotions. You disrespected me. So, I mean, I see what it is. And I also see that you ran around with a lot of other people and you gave them time and you gave them energy and you actually treated them a lot nicer than what you treated me. So this is why your person feels guilty, because they know that they didn't give you enough and you see it. This person misjudged you. They thought that they didn't have to give you anything. And now they're looking at you like, I better come in with something. If I'm going to come back to you, I have to bring something. And I don't think that they have enough, but we're going to see, or they perceive that they don't have enough. So these are the two words. You can write either one in your comment bar, either guilt or powerless. So let's see what this person actually did when you were dealing with them. Okay. Use this deck first. Needed to get attention from a lot of different people. They wouldn't give you the attention. It's like this person got triggered because I feel like you're someone that's in the public eye. You're someone that, if you're not in the public eye, you deal with a lot of people and a lot of people like you, or they always see you hanging out with a different crowd. So it's almost like you trigger this person because they kind of want your life. And it was like almost like you were too big for them to deal with. So they always needed to, again, get a lot of attention. So they did run around with a lot of people. And then they also didn't give you not a lot of energy because it bothered them that you were so big. It bothers them that you're likable, that you have a lot of people in your life that like you, that you have a life, that they don't really have a life. Their life is running around and talking to random people. And again, their use of attachments. Attachments are codependent. So you weren't acting the way that they are used of like people acting in a relationship. This person gets a lot of attention because they run around and they talk to a lot of different people, because they need the attention. So understand, it's like when they do that and they purposely don't give the person that they like or the person that has a connection to them to it, usually the person that's connected to them gives them more. You didn't do that. They wanted you to, again, like go blindly into the relationship, and that's not something that you would do. That's not who you are. So again, there's a sense of where this person, like again, there's a difference between need and want. You wanted this person. They're used to people needing them. I don't think they've ever been with someone that actually wanted them. And for them to actually think that someone wants them, they'd have to have some sort of self, some sort of confidence. This person running around and getting attention from a lot of different people to build up their ego has a low self-esteem. And again, they're used of attachment. That doesn't mean that they like it. I feel like they're used to very toxic relationships. And though they don't like it, it's they're comfortable. And they're comfortable in having people again go out of their way for them where they don't have to give that much. But again, this person has trauma, which is why they don't give too much when they're in a relationship. Yeah, it made you again very drained, very weary. Like it's like because you spent more time in like trying to fix the relationship by explaining and talking things out than you actually were in a relationship. And this person knew it. It's like that was their way of keeping you on the hook. It's like, I don't really want to give you anything, but I also don't want you to go anywhere. So I feel like it got to be exhausting because you're like, I understand what you're doing. And I see that you're not giving me anything. See, this person thought that they were going to get a reaction out of you. Like again, in attachment, codependent relationships, we usually see very toxic behavior where there's a runner and a chaser, and there's a lot of convincing, there's a lot of crying, there's a lot of emotional outbursts, there's a lot of, again, because the person continually disrespects, undervalues who they're with because they haven't put any energy in, so they haven't formed an emotional connection. Thing is that they actually built an emotional connection to you without realizing that they built an emotional connection to you. And now they're looking back on the situation. Again, because they see, I didn't give you anything. I acted like I didn't care. So that's where they are. That's where you are, rather, like your experience of with them and what they're actually they know to be true. And again, it's like they pay too much of attention to the physical body than the emotions. So they usually work really fast. And this is how they form attachments. They form attachments because the relationship is normally built on lust. It's built on just the attraction, just the physical element of the connection, where I feel like you're not as comfortable in your physical body. And so you may be someone that's very spiritual. You maybe someone that hasn't really like been with that many people, where this is what this person actually picked up on. So again, almost like a challenge. But in your benefit, because you're not that connected to your physical body. You didn't just run in and be with this person, where a lot of people do. They again run into the relationship because they have a very good connection to the physical body, but then what happens is your person didn't build an emotional connection and they just left. With you, you put your energy into yourself. You tend to be an overachiever. Again, somebody that's very mental, someone that's, again, always coming up with ideas, always creating, always working, always has goals, has, dreams, where again, the people that they're used to connected to don't. Their dream is to get married. Their dream is to be like somebody's spouse. Their dream is to control somebody else a lot of times because they don't know who they are. Where you know who you are, this person thought that they were going to play the same games with you that they play with everybody else. Yeah, like this person has a lot of fear of change. And that's the thing. It's like because they're insecure, they have fear of change, and that would be change of anything. So again, change of like again with their wherever they live, their job, just again change, and then including again what they're used to. So they're used to again the codependent relationship, and so because they're insecure, they're like, I don't really believe that the relationship's going to work out. That they think that because they base their what they perceive on what they've lived. They've already lived situations where they're very toxic and codependent, where the person gets very attached, and there's a lot of crying, there's a lot of control, there's a lot of power struggles, there's a lot of drama, unnecessary drama. This is what they're used to. Now, for you, that's an overachiever that you're actually putting your energy and pouring it into yourself. Well, that's triggering for this person because they don't feel powerful. You come across as very powerful, like you're busy doing your own thing. And again, you are interactive in your life, most likely promoting whatever it is that you're doing and using what you're like, again, using that as networking, where this person I feel like doesn't really have an identity. Doesn't mean that they don't go to work or have a job. They go to work and they come home, but their life is bland. And that's why they run around and they try to talk to all these insignificant people. And what it is that you came into their life and they just thought you were going to be like everybody else, and you're not. And so they're watching you. They expected you to, carry on. And when you didn't, that triggered their sense of abandonment. Again, we know that they're insecure. They are insecure because they have wounds, and they do have wounds of abandonment. That's why there's fear of change. Once they get to a place that is, comfortable, and for them, comfortable means that they have the upper hand. And that's the thing. It's like with you, they wouldn't have the upper hand. And because they're insecure, they think, well, maybe you wouldn't stay with them because there's a part of them that feels like they're broken. That's why, again, they run around and they talk to a lot of people, create a lot of drama, and it doesn't bring good energy. It's usually what sabotages this person, which makes them feel inadequate. And here you are, like an overachiever. Here you are making shit happen in your life. So it's very triggering for this person. These both fell out. So we're going to see fear of death. And I feel like, again, death is not really death. It's more like a change, like a death of the old way. They hold on to people, situations, experiences way too long. I feel like this person has gone through trauma again with their parents, right? Again, so they inherited family karma, and they also inherited some of the behaviorisms and habits that are sabotaging from their parents. So the fear of death is the same as fear of change, so that they'll stay in a situation that's not working because it's comfortable. But what I feel is it's getting uncomfortable because here the universe brought you into their life that's an overachiever, and this person is actually learning from how you live. Like you said, it didn't mean that they didn't make a lot of money. It didn't mean from the outside their life doesn't look good. What it means is internally they work a job that's not fulfilling. They have a life that's not fulfilling. Not really. After a while, that drama runs cold. It's like, especially when you have a comparison, and the comparison is that you're an overachiever, that you're really interactive in your life, you're invited to things, people like you. There's a sense that you like your own self. This person doesn't like themselves. They're still walking around with that trauma and wearing the trauma almost like armor, like I said, which keeps you out. Because again, emotionally, this person gets freaked out by the depth of the connection. Like I said, they have a lot of fear. And that fear we see all through this fear of change, fear of emotions, fear of not being in control. Again, all that comes from their ancestral karma. Yeah, you felt like being with them, it's like you might as well have been alone because you're like, you isolate me. You don't include me in your life. Well, there's no life to include. That's the irony. So here it is. You thought you were being shut out, but this person doesn't have a life. They created illusions to make you perceive that they have a life, but their life consists of like random connections that they flirt with for a while, but there's no depth, there's no meat and potato to the connection, there's no glue, right? The glue to a relationship is, you're connected because you have common interests. You're connected because you're interested in the same things. It's like this person, again, that they only glue it's sexual, pays too much attention to the physical and not anything to the emotional. So again, they wanted to be more in a control, like a power struggle with you, kept you stuck, but or you were going to cave. This is what the norm is for this person. Either I'm going to keep the person stuck where they're not going to be able to move on, but I'm not going to give them anything. They'll be mad, but it won't matter because they won't go anywhere. Or they'll eventually give in to me and become subservient because what they'll see is I'm not going to give in to them. That's not what happened here. What happened here is that you went off and became an overachiever and wound up getting a better life than them. So this person definitely got triggered by abandonment, and now they're stuck in the memory of what you were. There was that person that they first originally met was someone that was sensitive, compassion, someone that had a lot of love to give, someone that went out of their way for them or would or felt like you would. And now it's almost like you're too busy for them. So again, triggering where again they feel like they're losing control, that they are used to be wanting to be in the dominant position, like I said, the one to be in control. So it's like now it's almost like this person is getting triggered, almost feeling like you're going to be dominant. See, that's the thing. When you're in a codependent relationship, there's always one strong one weak one emotionally intelligent one person that's not emotionally intelligent, one person that's getting fed emotionally, one person that's getting starved. So again, this person is used of being the receiver, not the one giving. And the thing is, you're putting them in a position without actually doing it consciously. It's almost like the universe conspired to do it, the way that things are unfolding, that they would actually have to give to you. This makes this person very uncomfortable, makes them feel vulnerable, makes them, again, have to think about really being transparent. This person's never transparent. So again, it's making them change. That's why there's a sense of they can change. They don't need to stay in a place of feeling powerless by their guilt. They don't need to, but they would have to relinquish control and surrender and not be dominant, and also be accountable for how they treated you. And that's a problem because it's like this person doesn't like to apologize. Again, it makes them feel vulnerable and they don't want to seem vulnerable. It makes them feel weak. So it's like that's really the problem. So they're still kind of in their ego, what we see here. It's like they're still like, I don't really want to be accountable because if I'm accountable, then I'm showing weakness, and that's not weakness. It's like it makes this person feel unsafe, and that's due to the trauma that they had. But the truth of the matter is, it's like you tried to dominate me, and because you're not accountable, I feel unsafe in this connection. So that's why you left. So let's see what they're going to do. Let's see how they feel. Because right now, what we see is a power struggle a little bit still, even though this person feels sad and powerless and guilty, they're still in their ego because they're like, well, I'd have to come back and I'd have to be accountable and I'd have to not be the dominant one, not be the one in control. So they're visioning that they would be getting everything that they shelled out, but you're not them. And that's the problem with wounded people. They see things through their level of consciousness. They see things through distorted perception because they are imbalanced. So you wouldn't do that. I jumped out. Let's see. Sometimes I feel like you're speaking to me in my head. At times it triggers me because I wonder how much you can see into me. See, again, they like to be dominant. They don't want to be transparent. So it's like we're so connected though. I know that like you're talking to me. I know what I should do, but it bothers me. It bothers me that you would actually know. So again, transparency is a problem for this person. They always have one foot in, one foot out. Because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in my life. Because you've stayed away, what they're seeing is it's like, what's important? Is it important to be right and not have the person that I really do care about in my life? Or is it more important to surrender? And that's whether this person wants to or not, or likes it or not, they still know what's more important. Where before, I don't think that they ever cared because they always got what they wanted. So they were never put in a position where they had to actually see what was important. Again, part of being dominant is always being right to the point where I'm not going to apologize and I'm not going to be compassionate towards you because I'm right. So I want to take the dominant position, and that works when you're with somebody that doesn't have a very good self-esteem. You do because you're an overachiever, because you have a life. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge this situation instead of surrender to it. And that's what I'm telling you. They're still in their ego. They're still fighting it a little bit. They're like, I don't like, because it's so uncomfortable for them to be vulnerable. It's like they were taught in an environment that there was be a weaker one, and that weaker one would always be sad. That weaker one would always be without. That weaker one would be left to be abandoned. So it's almost like they're still looking at it like, if I take the weaker position by coming back and apologizing, which that's not the weaker position, but in their mind, it's the weaker position to come back and apologize and to surrender their ego, then you have the power to hurt me. You have the power to to ruin me because I really actually do care about you. All the other people I didn't care about. I never intended to have feelings for you, but now I have feelings for you. So you actually have a lot of power even without being in that position of dominance. Where it's not dominance, it would be equal. It's just that you set boundaries. This person thinks because you set boundaries that it's almost like, well, see, you're being dominant, you're controlling the situation because you're not doing what I want to do. It's very distorted thinking. The situation is being caused by the both of us. See, that's what they think. They think that the situation is being caused by the both of you, where it's not being caused by the both of you. The situation is being caused now by them. Now, in the beginning, the situation might have been caused by the both of you because this person feels that, you never needed them, that you didn't like them enough. So you needed to chase them a little bit more, but instead you put your time and your energy into yourself. And so because you didn't do that and you didn't take the subservient role, it didn't make this person feel safe, which is why they ran around and got attention from other people, why they needed to be an attention whore, like that's pretty much what they wanted. They didn't even really want to be in a relationship with most of those people that they talked to. It was more like, give me attention and give me attention so I don't think about you. Really, that's pretty much what it is. Like, I don't want to think about you, but I need the attention for myself. But that means that this person doesn't know how to do that themselves. I'm walking home to you. I'm not sure where I am on the path, but I am walking it. They know, regardless of whether or not they want to or not, that, there's a part of them that doesn't want to come back to you because they don't want to be transparent. They don't want to surrender their ego. They don't want to have to apologize for how they treated you, but they can't get you out of their mind. And so it's like down deep inside, they kind of know that, they're going to wind up back together with you because they're like, separate or together, we are working in tandem with each other. It's like, I can still feel your energy. You're still around me. You're still thinking about me the way that I'm thinking about you. You're wondering whether or not I'm going to come back to you. Well, I am going to come back to you. I just don't exactly know how I'm going to come back to you. Like this person is actually like trying to come back to you without apologizing, almost like let's just pretend that none of that happened, almost. And that they know that you wouldn't fly. It wouldn't fly because you're like, no, because you weren't accountable before. So you're not gonna like stay away for all this time, play all these games, run around, and then come back and act like absolutely nothing happened. See, that works with lower hanging fruit. It's not gonna work with you, which is why this person's like, I don't really know how. I'm powerless in the situation. You're projecting, see, they're projecting their own fears and limitations onto you. So they really do need to go within to understand that they are seeing themselves, not you. See, what we saw before is that this person got very triggered by your life, where again, they project. And they project because they have childhood wounds that they haven't healed yet. It doesn't mean that they don't love or have feelings for you. They do, but they're stuck in their ego. They're stuck in their ego, and that's why they don't want to surrender to the situation, not 100%. That's why they feel hopeless, because it's like they really wouldn't feel hopeless if they could just come back and apologize and be accountable. But they're like, I really don't really want to be accountable, and I really don't want to be apologize because again, it triggers their childhood wounds. So again, they get angry and then they project that the problem is being caused by not just them, also you, because you're staying away. You could have made them feel more, like you desired them more. You could have acted like you cared about them more. Like again, they're projecting their fears onto you, where really this is a them problem, not a you problem. But they know that they have strong feelings for you, and that's why they feel hopeless. It's like I just wish I could walk away, but I feel hopeless because I actually have feelings for you, but it's this connection is hard. It's making me change. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth also, and afterwards, I don't even know why I told you all that. So I feel like this person gets a lot of anxiety because they do like you. They do have feelings. So part of them keeping the distance and running around with other people was not to get in that deep. It was to not form the emotional connection because they're like, I don't know, you might use some of that information that I tell you against me. No, that's what happened in their parents' connection. And yes, and they recreated that within previous connections, but you're not the same person, and that's the problem. One more. My inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me the way that I needed them to. I am reacting from that wound, and we know that already, but this confirms it. Okay. So this person wants to come back. They think that they're coming back. They know that they're going to come back. How they come back, I don't know. I feel like they're strategizing. They're strategizing. They're like, I don't want to seem weak. So they might try and bump into you. They might again try to downplay what they did. You know, there's a sense that this person knows that they're coming back, but is figuring out, like I said, and that's due to their inner child wounds. And what they're going to see is that they're not really going to be able to do that, is what I'm feeling. Let's look at some healing cards to just, I'm just curious. Well, two came out. Okay. Uh, burdens and manipulation. Yeah, this person is like afraid that you may think that they're a burden. And again, that they're still manipulating. So that's the thing. It's like that's their fear. They're projecting their shit on to you again. So I feel like this person needs like a lot of healing before they even try to get into a relationship. But in their mind, they know that they're going to eventually bump into you because they have feelings for you. So we have to say, what will happen? I want to see what will happen just in case. Like if they came back to you, what would you feel? What would you say? Sorry about that. Cards flying all over the place. They don't come out of the box. All right, let's see. I feel like you're gonna be at a celebration or out with friends or family for like a some sort of celebration or party or gathering, like you said, and this person is gonna try to run into you there. And that's what they're gonna do within a few weeks. So that's what they're going to do. Now, what will you do? I know it's a little bit different than I normally do, but I'm just curious. Um, I feel like there is a very strong soulmate connection with this person. And I feel like you're going to make them give. It's like, because I feel like do have feelings for this person. It's not like you don't. I just feel like they would have to give you. They would have to come bearing fruit. Okay. They would have to pour into you. Like you'll say, I'll give you the opportunity to do that. In this story, yeah, because it's like there's passion. There's passion. And it's like you're gonna take the gamble. Okay. Like it's like there's a sense of like I do. As long as this person like, surrenders, they give in, they surrender their ego, that they give me the olive branch, like pretty much. So I feel like because again, there is it's a very strong soul connection. And I say that because we got we got this. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any more bond, engagement, soulmate, interconnected telepathy. So you and this person have this telepathic connection, this strong connection, and you're like, I kind of do want to be with this person, even though that he acted like that, even though I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. But what do I do? It's either I'm going to cut my nose off to spite my face, or I'm going to give this person an opportunity to prove it to me. And this person knows it. This person knows when they come back already that they would have to do that. So I feel like in this story. Now let's see why you attracted this person into your life. Oppression, cleansing, hope, lies and secrecy, vulnerability, optimism. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. So these are your inner child wounds. So again, we always ask, really, again, the inner child wounds tend to like play out karmically throughout our life until we heal them. So I feel as if you were raised by someone that again stole your hope. Again, and that not saying that you didn't pretend that everything was fine. I feel like you were oppressed and you lived the lies of that you were told, and there was also secrets in the house. And secrets are like if you grow up in a very toxic environment, well, we don't really share that with people. It's kind of like the big dark secret, but unfortunately, it's what is influencing the child's behaviors, which was your child. You again, it influenced you where it actually oppressed you. It held you down. I mean, look at that. It doesn't get much worse than that. Kept you down, and it stole your hope. And you know, as well as your optimism. But I do feel like you learned to be more optimistic because you actually learned how to clear yourself. And you're clearing yourself of that energy of feeling like, well, I feel like people can control me. I'm afraid of relationships, of people trying to manipulate and control me because I was manipulated and controlled into oppression, mainly because I had to hide behind and protect the lies and the secrets that were going on in the house. I couldn't be optimistic about my hobbies, my interests, my passions. I was too busy being a mother, being a father, being a fixer, being a healer, being that, playing those roles, the codependent roles. And that is what this person actually felt the code that, where you learned that again, vulnerability also was not safe. But in this situation, because you actually integrated the spiritual lesson and transmuted the negative energy, and you did that by, again, becoming an overachiever, by throwing your energy into yourself, by becoming yourself, right? So that is what gave you the boundary to be vulnerable. See, we're not vulnerable without protection. What you learned in childhood was to be vulnerable without protection. So you never created yourself either, where you what got to a place within your life, got away from your family, but those wounds were still there. So what happened is spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, brought this person into your life that brought all those energies up. Again, you were giving everybody else energy, but not me. You're trying to like keep me down. You're trying to oppress me. So what you did was you said, nope, you poured the energy into yourself. And this is why you're going to be able to be vulnerable with this person. Because what you realize is that this person didn't take anything, that they can't hurt you. They can't do anything to you because you didn't abandon yourself. If anything, it awakened this person to say, what's going on with my life? It's like, I don't feel fulfilled. I like the life that you're living, to the point that it almost triggers this person to have jealousy, where they're like, oh, how come I don't have that? Why do you have that? You're a little bit too big for your britches. It's like, I'm supposed to have that energy. But really, it's like everybody can have that energy. It's not one person is strong and the other person is weak. Yes, that's the dynamic that they grew up in. And unfortunately, that's been the dynamic that they have continually created within their relationships, and why their relationships don't work, and why their relationships are always toxic, which is why they're afraid of relationships, which is why unconsciously they are recreating the same type of dynamic with you, or tried to, I should say, and you were like, nope, and you put the energy into yourself, which automatically now, if this person wants to come back and make it work with you, they have to be vulnerable, which is a spiritual trait. They have to do that, even though it's really uncomfortable to do it. It's again, they have a lot of fear around it, because even though they're not happy where they have fear of change, and fear of change is not just change of location, it's changing the way that we deal with situations. But this person would have to see themselves as not being the dominant one in the connection, but more of an equal, balanced connection where, yes, you're allowed to set appropriate boundaries and you are pouring into yourself as they should pour into themselves. You are acting as the mirror of what this person should actually be. But doesn't mean that they're not bringing gifts to the table also, or that you didn't connect with this person for your own healing. Let's see what that healing is. Oh, we did actually see what that healing was. I'm going to go back in circles, and what that healing was for you to also learn how to be vulnerable, to let this person in also, because, hey, they hurt you. And to, again, it was to integrate the spiritual lesson. I was actually going to pull like 6 more. I wonder what if I pulled like another one. Yeah, because there was no parent. And again, you needed to be the authoritative figure here, not let this person. And you also had to incorporate discipline. So like I said, becoming an overachiever, you went from not really knowing because you weren't allowed to create yourself to becoming an overachiever because you poured into yourself, and that took discipline. And you actually knowing how to deal with this person, you already had that inner authority because you kind of like raised yourself because your parents were so caught up in their own drama, their own woundage. And again, we know that because there was no anchor. We see, like, again, a father and a child here. So again, the anchor is support. There wasn't support. So when we usually don't get support, we usually are not as disciplined as we should be. We come into that phase a little bit later in life. We find ourselves a little bit later in life. And it was to cleanse how you perceive yourself and really how you see other people, because how you're seeing other people is that they can't hurt you, that no one has the power over you, that you again are in charge of your life. And so that this person, even the way that they are, they can't hurt you. It's like that because you're again not going to abandon yourself. As long as you pour into yourself and become yourself, well, then that creates the boundary. And you're just kind of, again, showing this person how to be. So I wanted to actually see, before I pull this card, I want to see what is that person bringing to the table, which I know is a little bit different than what I normally do, but I'm just curious. I figured I'd spice it up a little bit. Let's see, how are they going to help you? And we'll only pull 3. Okay, let's see. Being beautiful, authentic self is the greatest contribution you can make to the world. It's again, it allowed you to like find your authentic self. You are the boss of your life. You can hire, fire, and promote accordingly. Again, and that's what this person taught you. Like you won't be a victim because you are the CEO of your life. So those are the two actually the 3 spiritual things of this person. By walking life's journey, you are dismantling false belief systems about yourself. So this person actually was a karmic that came into your life to almost like it could have like thrown you off your path. You didn't. You passed the spiritual test. So that was number 1, but we still didn't answer the question. What are they bringing to the table? Organization. I feel like structure within your business. This person is very left brain. They're very methodical. Again, they're good with business. It doesn't mean that they are happy with their business or even feel like they have purposeful, but they're very smart again. And decisions. So let's see what that refers to. And listing. So I feel like what you're going to see is that this person is actually going to allow you to like be the one in charge. Believe it or not, they are going to listen. So you're going to be able to see their situation, them a little bit differently as well. So I feel like you're going to see this person's going to help you see yourself the way that you need to see yourself, which is someone that's a leader, someone that is fully in control of your life. This person is going to bring you the organization and the structure that you need. So again, I feel like this person doesn't really have much of an individuality, like there's no passion in their life. We know what their passion was. Passion for life comes through feeling purposeful. You are doing that. You are purposeful. However, I feel like there's structure and organization that needs to be incorporated into your business that this person will definitely help so that you can make more money, so that you can be more grounded within the business. It'll make your business function better. That's what I feel like, or whatever it is that you're doing. It even could be in your home. You could feel like, well, my home is all like all over the place. If you have kids and you have whatever, there's no structure in the household. They're going to bring that, and that allows you to actually thrive. It creates a very grounded and safe space, believe it or not. So that's what they're going to bring to the table, get you to see yourself differently. And I feel like that's what this connection was all about. So there's an energy almost like as if you're older. I don't really feel like you're older. I feel like you're more evolved than this person. However, from a spiritual perspective, maybe not a business perspective, but a spiritual perspective. So spirit is saying, I want you to see yourself differently. And I'm going to give you the tools that help you do that. And this person is part of that. And this is the divine fruit. As I work to improve and free myself, I strengthen my foundation. My foundation, again, the structure. My intellect is light, my heart is warmth, and my soul is strength. I am nurtured by the divine sun. The fruit I bear reflects my inner light. This is again all about what you're creating within. Again, you're the overachiever. You are creating, you are doing that. And this person, like you said, is giving you a stronger foundation into your life. They're helping you. So you might be someone that's just not as grounded as you should be, but you have a lot of spiritual gifts. This person is overly grounded and they have no third eye. They don't have vision. They don't have creativity. So there's a sense of how opposites attract. Well, it's again, it did say that because there was a lack of connection to your body, it said. So, like I said, this person is bringing in more grounding energy. But I feel like with that is they're very successful in business. They're someone that's very good in that element, good at creating organization and structure, which spiritual people a lot of times are not. Creatives usually are not. We're usually not as organized. So that's what spirit says is like, oh, it's essential part to help you manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest, to be really to make the max amount of money, to make the most support within your life. So we're going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonate with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.